Hey y'all. So, you'll never guess what happened to me today. So, I just had an opportunity to heal something, and I know we talking about Mercury retrograde is kicking people's butts and all that, and she got her micro braids in and all that. But it's like some people are having external conflicts and some people are dealing with internal healing and doing the work. Um so I guess today was one of those moments for me. So I just, I finished my day at work, and I came outside to do my little 1-2, and um my lighters were out. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go to the store and get a lighter. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I go to the Dollar Tree, get me a couple lighters or whatever. And then as I'm leaving the parking lot, as I'm getting in my car to go to the, to leave to go home, I see a lady and her children, three children, sitting outside of the plaza of where I go by my house. And the craziest thing is there is never, like, ever, 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 ever anyone out there standing outside with a sign or needing any, assistance. I live in the suburbs, so it's like, and not to say, homelessness can't happen anywhere, but it's never anybody out there. So today was a woman and her three children, and for some reason when I went into the Dollar Tree, God said, use change, like use some of your change, don't use the cash that you have. I have $7 cash. I had $7 cash. um but God said, don't spend your cash, use the change, use the change. Now when I went into the store, I did not see this woman was not outside. So, or maybe she was and I just didn't see her. I didn't come from that direction, so maybe I just didn't know that she was there. But I I I had to get my thoughts together. But I go in, I use my change to get my lighters, and I come back out from the store. So as I'm getting in the car, I hear God clearly say, give her the money. And I'm like, give her the money. Okay, I'm like, the five? Okay, so I had $5 in my wallet that I always just keep in my wallet. And I was like, I'm not gonna spend this. I'm gonna just keep it in there, you know what I'm saying? Money manifestation. So I'm like, I'm gonna just keep it in there. And I just held on to it. And you do your little 1-2s, but I held on to that $5 just because I was like, I just want to always have something in my pocket for, spiritual reasons. But so, after doing I had a couple other dollars in my wallet. So I'm like, give her the five. So then I wait. God's like, no, give her the whole, give her everything you have, give her all the cash. And I'm like, you sure, God? Okay. I'm like, okay. So I sat back, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I admit, in my past, I've had situations where I felt like I gave, and people did whatever they wanted to do with it. But there's a point to that. I'm coming to it. But yeah. So I'm like, the whole seven? You're like, yeah, give her the $7. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. And all I hear is clearly, as I heard, give her the $7 is, it's not your job to police what people do with what you give them. That that right there smacked me like a ton of bricks. It's not your job to worry about what you've done for people and what you've given them. So I digress. Let me go back. So let me get back to the story. So I drive up, I go around, you know, And I'm just like, thank you, Lord. Now, before I gave it to her, I prayed over her. I said, Lord, whatever the situation is, whatever her story is, whatever her lifestyle or whatever her life is, I pray that this money transforms. I pray that this money manifests and multiplies for her. And I just pray that you do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think in her life and her children's lives. And I pray that they find a place to stay. Or they have everything that they need. So I go, after I say my prayer, I pull off, I go and I just hand her the money and I just say, God bless you. And I just, I go home. And the whole ride home, I'm just thinking about, there was an experience that I had when I was a child. And me and my mother were on our way to McDonald's. We were coming from somewhere. I want to say like Bible study or something. And we were headed to McDonald's and my mom saw a homeless person. And as she was heading into the restaurant, um, the homeless guy asked her, for some money to get some food. So she was like, okay, hold on. Actually, I'll go and get you something. So she goes in and gets him, she orders a meal. Now, mind you, my mom didn't have, at this time, I think my mom told me the story later on. She said that was like her last little bit of money. So she bought me a meal and then she bought the meal that she was going to buy for herself, she gave to him. And when she gave it to him, he said, he slapped it out of, like, he threw it on the ground and said, oh, I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that shit. I didn't want that shit. So I'm like, wow. So as a child, I'm like, wow. Like sometimes, like, dang, I didn't know homeless people could be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't understand that people, have a choice. And not to say that was right. It wasn't, but that formed and shaped how I looked at, certain situations in like giving. And I think that's where I started manifesting the, that poverty mindset, that lack mindset. And you don't realize it at the time, but when you don't give, and when you don't give with a cheerful heart, your life only reaches a certain peak. You can work as hard as you want to work, but if you stingy, if you're greedy, there's only so much it's only so much you're gonna get, and you're gonna pay in some way, shape, or form. But I said all that to say the revelation that I got from that was, it healed that situation for me. Excuse me. Maybe that's a confirmation bird, but it healed that situation for me. And I was immediately reminded on the ride home of that scenario with my mom. And I just started thanking God and thanking God and thanking God, because I'm just like, here I am in a situation like that. And I'm just like, you know what? Not my will, your will. And I'm just not going to worry about, what happens. You know what I'm saying? Once it leaves your hands, it's not your concern. You know what I'm saying? Just okay, you gave that person, your time, you gave that person your effort, you gave that person your energy. And it doesn't necessarily have to be money. You may have spent a lot of money on someone, or you may have given somebody your energy and given somebody your love. You did that from a pure place. You did that from a pure heart. There is no reason whatsoever you should ever walk with your head held down, or feeling like you can't freely give, and feeling like feeling hardened in your spirit by something somebody reacted to. Their reaction is not your problem. Just like somebody talking about you and how they feel about you ain't your business. It's the same thing. Once it leaves your hands, you're in, like, once the love leaves your heart, you can't get it back, regardless whether it's reciprocated or not. So it's none of your business how somebody chooses to receive what you give them. Now, you have to be cautious about what you give them, but do not ever regret giving and being generous and being, having a good heart. It's so much that I could say. Like, I'm coming to the end of this video and it's like so much more I could go into, but that really transformed my day, and I'm like so happy. And like I said, I just pray that anybody that's struggling, you know what I'm saying, I don't have it all, you know what I'm saying, I don't have everything together, but I pray that each and every one of you whatever you're seeking God for, whatever you're seeking, seeking the Creator for, I pray that your needs are met. I pray that your needs are met. And I hope you have a nice day.